The thing is that since current affairs is relatively unpredictable part, aspirants feel it as unpredictable part. Now, even if you see previous year papers of last 10 years, for sure there is no year static part questions are less than 60 questions. More than 60 questions will be from static part every year. Maximum they had asked 40 questions from the current affairs, and the thing here is that most of the current affairs questions will be having static linkage, or else static questions will be having current linkage. For example, once they had asked a question about deputy speaker. At the time, there is lot of discussion in the country about lack of deputy speaker, lack of appointment of deputy speaker. 1.5 years, 2 years back they had asked that question. Similarly, the things which are in the domain of current affairs, just don't make your mind burden, and see, you are working hard, you are attending classes, you are reading books, reading magazines and all. Even after that, if there is any question in the exam, you are unable to know, take for granted that no one in India knows that. No one in India knows that. Your only mind should share yourself is that if you are unable to attempt one question, no one in India can attempt that. That is for sure, because you have done this hard work. And one more thing, if you are able to attempt a question, it doesn't mean that everyone in India will be attempting. You are able to attempt that because you have done this hard work. మనం అది చేయగలుగుతున్నాం అంటే మనం హార్డ్ వర్క్ చేసాం కాబట్టి చేయగలుగుతున్నాం. మనం అది చేయలేకపోతున్నాం అంటే ఇండియాలో ఎవరు చేయలేరు, ఎందుకంటే మనకు మించి ఎవరు చేయలేదు కాబట్టి. ఓకే, ఈ మైండ్ సెట్తోనే ఎగ్జామ్ వరకు వెళ్ళండి. ఓకే, నౌ యాజ్ ఐ మెన్షన్డ్ ఎర్లియర్, I divided this handout into three different topics: 5 star, 3 star and 1 star topics. This handout contains around 118 topics actually. Now, in this 118 topics, I divided them into 5 star, 3 star and 1 star. 5 star will be relatively very important, 3 star important and 1 star relatively less important. Okay, now ఇక్కడ ఇంపార్టెంట్ అని పదం వాడడానికి కారణం ఏంటంటే ఏది నెగ్లెక్ట్ చేయొద్దు, but you need to read all. But if you have paucity of time while revision, you can just adjust with these two things. And even if you are having minimum amount of time, just adjust with these things. But the thing is that at least for first time or second time, you need to read all these things. Okay. No. Firstly, obviously in 2 hours class, we can't discuss all the 5 star, 3 star and 1 star topics. Most of the things you will be able to understand. All the most important topics among all these things I will be discussing. Remaining you can read from the handout, right? Now, first thing, Henderson doctrine. Henderson doctrine basically says that, and one more thing, besides the topic only I mentioned the stars, you can verify them. Now, Henderson doctrine, it basically says that if, for example, regarding an issue of bonded labor, I had filed one petition with the Supreme Court. You had filed one petition with the Supreme Court. Meer Ashwant kada mee peru? Yeah. Ashwant also filed a petition in the Supreme Court regarding bonded labor. Now all of them are related. Now what is the point in wasting the time of the judiciary in discussions about the repeated topics? Again we will be telling that there is lot of pendency with the Supreme Court. Right? So from that idea emerged the doctrine of Henderson. Henderson doctrine simply says that if there are some related topics, related type of litigations, they can put it into one single litigation and hear the judgment and hear the case. That is simply called as Henderson doctrine. అంతే, దానికి మించి మీకు అక్కడ ఏమీ తెలియాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. Henderson doctrine basically says that litigations of same type can be handled in a single case. Okay, please. This Henderson doctrine has origin in Indian cases also, like State of UP versus Nawab Hussain, Workmen versus Board of Trustees of the Cochin Port Trust case, and for prelims obviously this is not needed. If a question comes in mains regarding judicial pendency and all, you can quote this Henderson doctrine. Okay, rather than that, these cases of very less importance. Next, impeachment of judges in India. Now, I really expect a question on impeachment of judges this year because there is a lot of discussion about it. Now, why? Because opposition parties in Rajya Sabha are preparing a motion to impeach Allahabad High Court judge Justice Shekhar Kumar Yadav for controversial remarks. Here, this Allahabad High Court judge had given some controversial remarks. Obviously, it is of no use for us to know what are his remarks. But we need to know how proceedings of impeachment of the judge will be happening. Okay, that you might have already studied in your static part, but once we will revise it again. Now, whether the procedure for the impeachment, now we are basically discussing about the procedure for impeachment of Supreme Court judges and High Court judges, or else Chief Justice of India or Chief Justice of High Court. Whether there is any difference for High Court and Supreme Court? Same. Whether for their appointment? Collegium difference, but appointment will be done by President of India. Now, President of India will be appointing. Removal process is not mentioned in the Constitution. Article 124 clearly says that it is in the hands of Parliament. You take your own decision. How you will do the things? Using their power under 124 of 4. 124 of 4 clearly says that we are giving power to Parliament. Now, using its power under 124 of 4, Parliament had made a legislation with the name Judges Enquiry Act 1968. Now, this Judges Enquiry Act clearly mentioned the procedure, step 1, step 2, step 3, what should be done for the removal of judges in the country. Now, and Constitution mentions criteria for the removal. Only the criteria is proven misbehavior or incapacity. Proven misbehavior or incapacity. Whether this has been defined in the Constitution? Right? It is not defined in the Constitution. See, while reading Lakshmikant or else on any handouts, you will be learning about some things like not defined in the Constitution, defined in the Constitution, not mentioned in the Constitution. Just in one white paper, mention about these 3 things. While you will be revising next time, and under that, mention that. It will be easy for your revision in the last time. Okay. And for President, what is the criteria? President impeachment, what is the criteria? Violation of the Constitution. Whether it is defined? No. That is also not defined. So, for a judge's removal, we require proven misbehavior or incapacity. Now, how come this proven misbehavior or incapacity can be found out? For this, Parliament had come up with the procedure, Judges Enquiry Act 1968. Now, as per this, removal will be happening through the process of Parliament. To move the impeachment, firstly, the first step is that at least 100 MPs in the Lok Sabha, 50 MPs in the Rajya Sabha must give written sanction. At that time, the Speaker of Lok Sabha or the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha must accept, or he is not accepting, it is his own wish. Okay? But the basic requirement is that 100 MPs from Lok Sabha, 50 MPs from Rajya Sabha. Here, Rajya Sabha MPs submitted their notice to Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So, initiate chair and 100 MPs of Lok Sabha, 50 MPs of Rajya Sabha. After that, if Speaker or the Chairman admits it, he will be forming one committee to inquiry. We are telling that misbehavior, no? We have to find out whether it is a misbehavior or not. So, to find out the misbehavior, committee will be formed, and this committee will be including either Chief Justice of India or one Supreme Court judge nominated by him, High Court Chief Justice, and one distinguished jurist. Now, they will be investigating the charges, framing the allegations and all, examining all the evidences. If they found out no guilty, there itself the procedure ends. If they found out guilty, they will be submitting their findings to the Speaker or the Chairman. Now, if Speaker or Chairman had received that they had found guilty, it will be moved in the House for voting. Here, it must be passed by a special majority. Special majority ante ikkada special majority 2 generally. Okay, వదిలేండి. Special majority ante అక్కడ ఎంత రావాలి majority? 2/3 of the members present and voting, and that should be greater than 50% of the total strength of the House. Now see, if a question comes in the exam about majority, they won't be mentioning it as effective majority, special majority or simple majority, because these words are our Lakshmikant origin. కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్లో ఇవేం మెన్షన్ చేస్తున్నాం, సింపుల్, స్పెషల్, ఇవన్నీ ఇవి మన సౌకర్యం కోసం మనం మార్చుకున్నాం. Okay, they will be clearly giving the definition of it. Special majority means this majority. In the past also they had given this. Okay, they had clearly mentioned the full definition of that special majority. Okay, so here 2/3 of the members present and voting, and that should be greater than 50% of the total strength of the house. It means, for example, take the case of mana Lok Sabha 543, it should be around 272. Okay, 50% of the total strength means 272. Now in a scenario only 400 members had come, 2/3 members present and voting done, అంటే ఇక్కడ ఎంత అయింది? Say some around 260. Okay, now it is 2/3 members had voted, but it is less than 272, then it is not passed. It should be greater than 272, then only we can consider it has been passed. Now even if it is say 272 వచ్చినా సరే సరిపోదు, 272 రావాలి, ఆ రోజు ఉన్న వాళ్ళలో 2/3 కూడా అవ్వాలి. 272 రావాలి, ఆ రోజు ఉన్న వాళ్ళలో 2/3 కూడా రావాలి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 543 వచ్చేసారు అనుకోండి, ఇందులో 2/3 అంటే ఇంకా ఎక్కువ కదా. సో 272 రావాలి, ఆ రోజు వచ్చిన వాళ్ళలో 2/3 కూడా రావాలి. గాట్ ఇట్? నెక్స్ట్, the same procedure, this happens in one house, the same procedure will be done in the second house. If both of the houses pass with this special majority, then president will be issuing the removal order. By this, removal will be completed. Okay, now as of now any removal had happened in India? No, until now there is no case, because it is just a Herculean task here. They had made this provision to not remove a judge. ఎందుకంటే ఈ లోపు సెట్టింగ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, ఆ గ్యాప్ మధ్యలోనే 2 months 3 months 1 month అయినా పడుతుంది కదా, ఈ లోపు సెట్టింగ్ అంతా చేసుకోవచ్చు. In the past we have discussions about Justice Ramaswamy, Justice Soumitra Sen. For example, Ramaswamy, Lok Sabha people didn't allow over there. For Soumitra Sen, he himself had resigned before any proceedings. For Ganguly, sexual harassment charges have been cleared by an internal complaints committee ఒకటి ఉంటుంది. They had cleared that he hadn't done any mistake. Even the same case happened with Justice Deepak Mishra. Yeah. Next, Justice Pardiwala, his remarks have been expunged, and Justice Nagarjuna, motion failed due to insufficient signatures, that is 100 MPs sign చేయలేదు అక్కడ. Deepak Mishra, Rajya chairman rejected. రాజ్యసభ చైర్మన్ యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయాలి కదా, సో రాజ్యసభ చైర్మన్ రిజెక్టెడ్ ఇట్. అదేనా? ఆబ్వియస్లీ ఫర్ ద ప్రిలిమ్స్ యూ నీడ్ నాట్ నో ఆల్ దీస్ కేసెస్, ఇవేమీ అవసరం లేదు. ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ రైటింగ్ మెయిన్స్ ఆన్సర్, 1 or 2 of them will be adding value to your answer, nothing more than that. Okay, but until this procedure will be very much important for your prelims. Okay, next, finance commission, very much important, either in economy or else in polity. Now here this has been added in polity basically because finance commission has been constituted. We are not discussing about their recommendations and all. While I will be teaching you about economy, I will be having a detailed class over it. Okay, now as of now finance commission appointment has been done, will be done by president. Already in the yesterday's class, 2 days before, we have discussed everything in detail. Finance commission is a constitutional body, will be formed under article 280. అంతే కదా. Now there are qualifications and all, just go through it once, but it is very important. One more thing here is that we need to know terms of reference of the 16th finance commission. 16th finance terms of reference will be given to the finance commission by no, central government. Basically executive will be giving the terms of reference, and states will not be having any role while giving terms of reference. This also acts as an hindrance to the fiscal federalism. Now that finance commission has been formed to devolve the funds, but states do not have any role either in the appointment or else in any their discussing about the tenure, terms of reference, their service conditions. There is no role of the states over there. It is not at all accurate with respect to fiscal federalism, good fiscal federalism. Now 16th finance commission also told that it is aiming to address the thing called front shoring and reshoring. This article ekkada enduku add chesam ante front shoring reshoring ante ento meeku teliyali. Now, friends, you might have heard about the supply chain problems in the international context. Now, supply chain problem ఎందుకు వస్తుందంటే మనకి జనరల్గా you might have seen during Russia-Ukraine crisis, we had faced the shortage of different things. Due to Malaysia, we had faced the shortage of palm oil. During COVID-19, we had faced the shortage of this semiconductors and all, silicon and all, right? Even now, we are facing the shortage of lithium and all. Now, for a successful economy, problem with respect to this supply chain is a very problematic thing, because production will be stopped in the middle. We are unable to achieve our real growth. You might have heard about the potential GDP. మన పొటెన్షియల్ జీడిపిని మనము రియలైజ్ అవ్వలేం. ఓకే, నౌ ఇన్ దట్ కేస్ ఇట్ విల్ బి బెటర్ ఇఫ్ వీ ఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు ప్రమోట్ సప్లై చైన్ రెసిలియన్స్. ఇన్ దట్ కంటెక్స్ట్, గవర్నమెంట్ ఆల్సో టోల్డ్ ఫినాన్స్ కమిషన్ టు గివ్ సమ్ ఐడియాస్ టు యూటిలైజ్ ద ఐడియా ఆఫ్ ఫ్రంట్ షోరింగ్ అండ్ రీషోరింగ్ విచ్ ఈస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ ఇన్ ద వరల్డ్. ఫ్రంట్ షోరింగ్ అంటే relocating the supply chains to allied or friendly nations for economic and geopolitical stability. For example, Japan wants to relocate at least 10% of that supply chain to other country. Now, India is a friendly country. India can make use of that. Okay. Similarly, reshoring involves bringing manufacturing and production back to the home country to reduce reliance on foreign nations. Now, say Japan thinks that I will be inviting back all my supply chain, all my manufacturing industries over to Japan. It will be problematic to India, right? అంతే కదా, మన దగ్గర నుండి బేస్ వెళ్ళిపోద్దిగా మళ్ళీ. టు హ్యాండిల్ దీస్ సార్ట్ ఆఫ్ సినారియోస్, ఫినాన్స్ కమిషన్ విల్ బి గివింగ్ సజెషన్స్ హౌ వీ కెన్ హ్యాండిల్ ఫ్రంట్ షోరింగ్ అండ్ రీషోరింగ్. ఫర్ ప్రిలిమ్స్, ఫర్ దిస్ ఆబ్జెక్టివ్, యూ నీడ్ టు జస్ట్ నో ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్రంట్ షోరింగ్ అండ్ రీషోరింగ్, అంతే. అండ్ I mentioned about the terms of reference of the Finance Commission. General terms of reference will be horizontal devolution, vertical devolution, grants and all, and any other suggestions to the State Finance Commission. Other than this, 15th Finance Commission spoke about defense expenditure, 16th Finance Commission spoke about these things, and also climate change, disaster management, climate change and all. One more thing, while discussing economy, we will be clearly discussing over there, but adding here one more point is that what is the horizontal, this vertical devolution number for center and the state as per 15th Finance Commission? 41. Now, we mentioned that 41 is for divisible pool. Cess and surcharge will not be included in the divisible pool. Now, as per the recent estimates, if we include the cess and surcharge, the total amount that a state is getting is not 41. It is just 31.2%. ఎందువల్ల జరుగుతుందంటే their intention is to not share with the states. That's why rather than increasing the taxes, they are increasing the cess and surcharge. So they need not share that. ఎందుకంటే Constitution directly says that cess and surcharge amount need not be shared. So center is increasing the cess and surcharge. Got it? 33.16% రియాలిటీలో డెవల్యూషన్ అవుతుంది టోటల్ చూసుకుంటే, డివిజిబుల్ పూల్ కాకుండా టోటల్ చూసుకుంటే.